Everybody, thanks for watching. And just a quick reminder that Ancient Religion Series Volume 1 is now available on paganism. Definitely take advantage and watch that video. And remember that lifetime membership to Merkabah Academy is different from lifetime digital downloads. It's totally different. So a lot of people was asking about the sale that was up last week. It's still available. A lot of people wanted me to keep it up for a little bit longer. So it will be up until Monday. Definitely take advantage of that, especially the Never Pay Again sale, because only about 15-20 more people can take advantage of that before it's taken down. So definitely take advantage, as well as the digital downloads. I kept it up there at that price, so you can download all 71 or 72, I think it is, digital downloads at that price. Take advantage of that sale while it's still available. And books, of course, we're still shipping out books. I sent a bunch of confirmation tracking numbers out this weekend, and we'll be sending out more. As I said before, if you order the book, it's coming. Thanks for your patience. I appreciate it, but you definitely will get it. It's on the way. It's coming. Not trying to keep anybody's book or rob anybody or anything like that. A lot of emails from people. If you order the book is coming. I explained the whole situation and the process. I understand if some people don't have patience, but I've explained everything multiple times. As I said, if you order the book, you're definitely going to get it. So at least shoot me an email before you run to the white man at PayPal. A lot of people don't see every video. A lot of people didn't get the email that was sent out. But rest assured, if you order the book, it's coming. And I appreciate the patience and everything. It's been a process, but everybody will have their book pretty soon. Now, to get into this video and to really look at a couple things that's been happening lately. Of course, I talked about the whole Kobe Bryant thing. A lot of you guys, wow, a lot of emails, a lot of questions about that whole thing. And a lot of people had no clue as to the connection of, Iran and the Persian Empire, as well as what's been happening with trade with America and China lately, and how it's been escalating and how we've been seeing so much tension back and forth that's kind of sort of behind the scenes, but right in our face if you know what to look for. But I really want to get into something different, because this is going to be one of those things where we got to watch it. And they're trying to have this secret war with trade right in front of our face, but, keep it covered. So we got to be really, really on point about what they're talking about as far as trade and anything escalating towards any kind of war or anything like that. This whole, coronavirus and everything like that. A lot of stuff is distractions. A lot of stuff is in the way. The whole Trump impeachment situation. I mean, all of this is like really showing you need to pay attention to what's going on. If you saw the Super Bowl, I'm pretty sure a lot of y'all seen that and picked up on what I seen. Notice how almost every single commercial had Chinese people in it. If you notice that, then you have that vision now. You can see, you understand, you get it. Almost every single Super Bowl commercial had Asian people in it. You can go back and look for yourself. They had a lot of commercials that actually took shots at the Chinese. If you peeped it, you peeped it. If not, you didn't see it. But this is a straight up sign. It was very patriotic. They had a lot of patriotic commercials. They had a lot of commercials where they make sure they included Chinese people, so Asian people. So pay attention, because we could be on the brink of war with China. We could be headed to some type of issue with trade, or major issue with trade, and who knows. So I peeped so many different people talking about that as well on Twitter about Super Bowl commercials in China, and we got to really be on point about what's happening with the economy in China. So definitely a lot more videos on that. We'll get into that whole thing. But yeah, it was kind of crazy. But a lot of people are not realizing that we basically argue about the same stuff every year, involving different people, it seems like. So it's usually a controversy that pops up every year, and we talk about it and nothing gets done about it. And then next year it's the same thing, but with a different person. And we're seeing this a lot. So we have seen so many times with, celebrities bashing celebrities, or, we've seen a lot of black celebrities basically doing stuff that goes against us, or that is basically making the black community look bad. And a lot of people was talking about, Gayle King and the whole thing with Kobe. I heard doing an interview with Lisa Leslie and mentioning Kobe's whole rape case and everything like that. And, a lot of people flipped out on her about that whole situation. But, more than that, we were seeing, I don't know if you guys been hearing, you had a lot of black women taking to Twitter and putting out a lot of information on Facebook about Kobe, as far as, him not dating, marrying a black woman, or doing anything for black people. And this sparked a big debate. I don't know if y'all been hearing about it, but a lot of people talking about the whole thing. And, it's one of those things where, this dude ain't been dead 2 weeks yet. And there's so much controversy around Kobe Bryant and his death and his life and what's been happening. And, we always use a situation like this to bring in black issues, to bring in stuff that black people face. So, of course, even when a person is alive, like you see a black celebrity with a white woman, or a black celebrity with a white man, and we bring that whole issue up of race and dating outside of race. It's the same stuff, every year, but with a different person. And this is no different. But we got to look at so many things and understand the hard truth that we don't want to really realize is we don't really have anything as a people for, a black celebrity to, bring to the black community that's going to really uplift the black community on his own. It's going to take collaboration. It's going to take a lot of people coming together to make something like this happen. And it's going to take a big effort on the part of the community to keep it there. So my point is, why would you bring something beautiful to the ghetto or to the hood that is going to get destroyed? Why bring something beautiful to, no offense, a bunch of savages, a bunch of people that's lost, a bunch of people who don't even know who they are, a bunch of people that basically sell you out for the white man's Jesus. And this is one of the reasons why a lot of people don't come back to the hood or even really, try to do anything major there, because there is so much opposition you're going to run into from your own people. Case in point, you had the young black woman in Baltimore who had her, beauty supply store, hair store, whatever, that was killed. She was killed by her own people. Having a store, this young woman, black woman, who managed to do something so great and big at that age, to have somebody, kill her and just end it all. This is one of the things we got to look to, and it's what we need to start to realize about ourselves. That's the problem, and one of the reasons why you can't really expect people to come back and bring something to the black community. Now, you also need to understand this. Of course, black celebrities are doing stuff for the black community. Of course, black celebrities give back to the black community. Of course, Kobe gave to the black community on a few occasions. And it's a difference between coming into the black community, giving out toys or, giving out furniture or helping pay somebody rent or putting kids through college and so on and so forth. That stuff we see a lot. We see black people do that all the time. We see black people build homes for people and so on and so forth. But that's something that's going to be individualized for those specific people that's lucky enough to get, those accommodations. But it's not nothing that's going to largely change the black community. And as I said, that takes a collective effort on the part of a lot of people to have happen. So when people say, Kobe did nothing for black people, or Jordan did nothing for black people, or all these celebrities did nothing for black people, when you go back and really look, yeah, that's a lot of stuff they did as far as those minor things, which I don't really consider minor, putting somebody through college and so on and so forth. Yeah, a lot of black celebrities do that. They do it all the time. We see it all the time. But is there a way for them to completely change the community? It is. Is it a way for them to really do something major that's going to help the community as a whole? Of course it is. But then you got to understand the obstacles that are in their way to keep that from happening. And namely, it's us. It's just that simple. And it's us not having the mindset to allow something like this to happen, or to give somebody with that kind of status and wealth the, let's say, the reassurance or the comfortability of doing something like that. It's like, okay, I'm not going to give a bunch of money to people who I believe going to fuck it up. It's just that simple. I'm not going to put something beautiful in this place, where people have, way bigger issues that need to be corrected before we even start to rebuild something in this place. So we're talking about drug issues, we're talking about mental health issues, we're talking about a lot of issues that people have before you can even begin to bring something beautiful into the black community. So I don't think people really understand what they mean when they say doing something for black people. I mean, what are you talking about? What do you mean? Obama didn't do anything for black people. People still level Obama to death. He was the one that was in a position to really do something for the black community, but he chose not to, for many reasons. But when you say a celebrity didn't do anything for the black community, when you say a person is not doing this or not doing that, I don't think people really understand what that entails and how difficult something like that would be on a large scale. But first, we got to look at the problem. We got to understand, one, we keep talking about how the white man is oppressing us, how we can't get ahead, how it's a problem. And as I always say, we don't want to admit what's causing that. So as I said before, I talk about this all the time. You got to understand the traps that's in our way, what has happened to us. And if you're going to enslave people and then free them and then build a huge economy of wealth and success off of their, deaths and labor and so on and so forth, and you're trying to stay in power, well, you have to make sure that they can never rival you in power. And this is what we are not realizing. We're not realizing, one, yeah, we're the problem. We have an issue. But we're not admitting the issues, the things that's in our way to keep us exactly where we at. We've been in this same spot for decades, centuries, for a long time, just subservient to them. And it's like, okay, we have stages of progression, but we're still in the same spot when you really think about it. And that spot is us basically being under their control. So what would they possibly do to keep us where we are? And number one is controlling our education. Controlling our unity, making sure that we don't unite, making sure that they can control what we learn, and making sure that what we learn benefits them and not us, or benefits them more than it benefits us. And this is what we're seeing. So the first thing they took control of course, you had desegregation, and you had us being able to integrate in these white schools so they can control the school system. Now, a lot of people, don't ask the question, why didn't we just have, better schools in the black community back in the 60s instead of integrating? This was the control. Now, remember, this is when they basically said the government's taking control of the school system. We're going to have people going to certain schools by, zip code and so on and so forth. And then you had white people just up and move. If they was living close to black folks, they was moving out of their zip code to where it was predominantly white, so their kids didn't have to go to school with black kids. So this is around that time when that really started happening during desegregation, when you had this large shift of people moving far away from the black communities, so they can not, have to deal with that. So that happened, and that was by design, of course. But they didn't, make sure the black schools was as adequate as the white schools, or that, we were getting the same education. So now you have this, separation, and you have the white schools and you have the black schools. You have them being taught a totally different curriculum than us. A curriculum for them that's going to assure that they are our bosses, and a curriculum for us that's going to ensure that we are the workers. So when you're going to school, especially in the black community, you're going to school to learn how to work for them. It's just that simple. And as we all know, school, you go there, you're learning, it's memory, you commit things to memory, and you're not really learning what you're going to need to be, where they are, to be the boss. You're not really learning what you're going to really need to be the executive or the owner or the person that's in a position to employ people, or to really use your status or your situation to grow something for your people. So we don't have that. They do. They make sure that, their kids are learning the best, that they have, the best meals at school, that they have the best teachers. Everything is going to be good for those kids in that district. Whereas our schools, we're not getting that same type of information or that same type of help. So they enslaved us, indoctrinated us with Christianity to give us the feeling of remorse, forgiveness. They didn't free us until they made sure that we took religion with us in our hearts. When they felt comfortable enough that we wouldn't basically slaughter them in their sleep, that we wouldn't congregate and come together and basically take over everything. When they felt comfortable enough to let us go, where they, didn't have to sleep with one eye open, they really could believe that, we were so gone and lost with, the Holy Spirit of Jesus and forgiveness and everything like that, that they can sleep safely and soundly. And they did that. And they let us free, and we was free. And they used us to basically build their economy. And once their economy was built, white people were too smart to basically do what they wanted us to do. And this was the issue. So as I talked about before with Reagan, when he came out, before right around the time of desegregation, when he was talking about the economy was doing bad. Why was the economy doing bad? Because there was no racism for, white people. White people wasn't racist against white people. So what was happening? White people was seeing how everybody was coming up. They was looking at the scam of this government system and these businesses and saying, I want to do the same thing. I'm not going to sit and work for these people so they can get rich off my labor. I'm going to open a business. And then when you have all these white people opening businesses and you have all this competition that they created amongst themselves, there is nobody to make money from if everybody wants to be a boss. Everybody wants to be on top. They can see the scam. So they needed us. And this is why integration happened and desegregation happened, because as I said, they needed that money to bring in their community so they can grow their wealth. And that's exactly what they did. Now, we were just, dumb enough and just happy and shucking and jiving that they wanted to, shit in the same toilet as us and eat next to us, that we didn't see what was going on. We didn't realize the economic trap that was, placed in front of us, and we didn't realize what they were actually doing. And then now we flooding in our money to their economy, and it's destroying our own. So you had the mob. When Italians came over, you had the growth of the mafia in the 30s, 40s, 50s, and 60s, and they got it. They understood the whole situation, that all this shit is a scam. And, the mob was taken. They was going and they was, busting up those rackets and stealing and doing everything they could to take what they needed to grow, their families and so on and so forth, until they realized that, it's not even worth the war. We have made so much money. We have made so much progress that we can basically become civilized. We can basically, become legit and control shit and make money and grow. And that's exactly what they did. Vegas is a testament to that. LA is a testament to that. And these people basically, coming together, forming a commission and becoming legit and using that money to put themselves in positions of power where they are today. We have not figured that out yet as Black people. So as I talked about in a previous video, how they basically use that to turn us against each other and against, basically our own progression when you really pay attention. So, I talked about before how you have rappers walking around want to be gangsters, and we don't really realize where that comes from when you really think about it. It's like, okay, when we say gangster, where does gangster go back to? It go back to white mafia men. What Black person was calling himself gangster before the white mafia? What Black person was saying that he was gangster before the mob? What Black person was saying he was mob or MOB before white men did it in America? What Black person was doing drive-bys before the mob was doing drive-bys? What Black people, was forming gangs and killing people and robbing and doing all the stuff we doing before the mafia was doing here in America? It was them. And we looked at them and seen, the freedom that they was having as far as going against the system, and they was having, success at it. But that's because they was white. And we basically took, as I said, everything bad about white folks and put it into hip hop. And that's our culture today. So as I said, all you got to do is listen to the music, listen to the lyrics. I'm a boss. I'm a gangster. All that comes from mafia talk, mafia bosses, mafia family stuff. So we're basically living in a culture that's stolen from criminal white people. Just that simple. And this is the culture that we live in. That's saying that we gangsters and we thugs and we bosses and we sell drugs and we do everything that these people was doing. People forget that the mob was one of the first to be involved in selling drugs in America. Remember, a lot of the mafia wars were over drugs and the selling of it. So they brought us in so they can get into the black communities and spread this stuff. It was part of the CIA's plan to basically put, crack cocaine in the black community. But, this was later, of course. The mafia was pushing coke around this time, and heroin too as well. And they were the hugest drug dealers way before us. They were the biggest gangsters way before us. And we have been doing nothing since then but copying them. We've been copying, gangster, criminal white people, and we made a culture out of it called hip-hop culture. We all live it. And we all jumping around thinking that these white people don't see exactly what happened and what we're doing. It's phony. So you have, one of the reasons why they didn't like us back in the 60s, if you have a people that's trying to dress like you, make their hair like you, sound like you, and act like you, how are you going to feel about that? You're going to call them phony. You're not going to want to be next to that person. You're going to be like, get the fuck away from me. And this is what we was doing in the 60s. Slicking our hair back, getting perms, dressing like them, trying to sound like them, trying to fit in. It's like an annoying brother, but, we ain't no kin to them. So it makes it even worse. It's like, why is these people copying off of us and trying to be like us? That's how they felt. It's the same way they feel when they look at this whole gangster rap. Y'all copying off the mob. Y'all copying off of white gangsters. Y'all copying off of white bosses and thugs, and y'all glorifying it, but they used it to better themselves as a people, and they eventually became legit and built mega empires off of that. What have we done? What have we done with hip-hop? Where has hip-hop helped us as a people? So when you look at it, it's the exact same scenario as black hip-hop artists coming into the black community, helping somebody go to college or helping a family rebuild their house. It's one family, it's one person that's going to get help, not everybody as a whole, not the black community as a whole. So you have people that's thinking, well, if white people was this and that, why would they have the hip hop industry and why would they pay these rappers and athletes these millions of dollars? Because it's one family, it's one person. And this is what they don't care about. They know that these people are not going to help the black community as a whole because it's definitely a hard thing to do. And they know that it's going to also destroy black families. It's also going to destroy the progression of black businesses because you have people who have an invested interest in becoming a slave, basically, to becoming a worker. Even if you do manage to become, an athlete or a hip hop star, you're still a worker under their system that they control. What you are doing is not going to come back to the black community and help everybody. We so delusional about this fact. We so lost about the whole situation of what's going on in the black community that we don't see that we are lost. These people controlling it. We steady arguing back and forth about stuff that don't matter, about stuff that's really not going to help us out. And we're not seeing the big picture that we're not seeing that we have a mental illness called hip hop. We have a mental illness that's basically destroying us. And it's a cancer. It's worse than cancer because it's something that we bond with and connect with on an emotional level. Like I said, it's 10 times worse than crack ever was. It's the worst thing that we deal with. It's this bullshit ass culture that, has been clearly destroying us. So you look at the evolution of it. As we all know, hip hop is not what it used to be. All the artists that was basically saying anything are gone. It's mumble rap now. It's stuff that make no sense. It's mindless dribble that doesn't stimulate your mind intellectually at all. It doesn't make you think. It doesn't cause you to rebel or want to do anything, to grow as a people, except for get enough money to shit on the rest of the black people. That's what it wants you to do. That's what it's telling you to do. It's telling you to disrespect black women. It's telling you to hate yourself, to be more like somebody who you don't really want to be like. It's telling you to do everything that's going to keep the black community where it is. And we all know this, but nobody wants to talk about it or admit it. So, when I look at all this stuff and I see people talking about keeping it real and the black community and this and that, they destroying it. These celebrities, these black entertainers. Most of them have no clue, but a lot of them do. I don't see how you can't at this point understand what they have successfully done to us. Everything that they took from us, everything that they done to us, but every year they want to give us awards about hip hop. They care so much about us talking about how many bitches we fucked and how much drugs we sold and how many niggas we shot, that they giving us awards and paying us millions of dollars to do so. But we don't want to make that connection that they're allowing this to happen and they're paying us because it's destroying us and it's keeping us exactly where we are as a people. We don't want to make that connection. We want to just say, oh, you hating. Oh, it's not the music, it's the people. We don't want to make the connection of how music can influence the mind. The reason why music is in every single commercial, because it influences the mind on that product. So hip hop, imagine what it's doing to us. I talked about all this before, but we don't want to make that connection. So the days keep going by. Days keep passing, weeks, months, years keep passing. It's the same situation. And the next year, we are arguing about the same thing all over again, involving somebody else. Same spiral we've been in for decades, and it's going to keep going because they have given us this whole fucking virus, I call it, of so what? I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. And when you say that to yourself, or when you say that to your kids, and when you say that, when you say that, period, it's the most destructive thing that you can say is you don't care. That means game over. That means they won. I don't give a fuck. It is what it is. They won. That it's like they probably stand in ovation whenever they hear it and when they see it, and they know that's our mindset. It is what it is. And then you got the other mindset, well, it's the end times. Jesus is coming. Jesus saves. So on and so forth. Like, I don't think y'all realize, one, how much messed up they got us. And economically, how much we are being left out of, pick money situations. And it's crazy. So even looking at the whole economic situation that's going on, as a people, everybody in America, everybody on the planet, I don't think we realize how much money these governments are making off of us, and how much money we produce as a people within our own economies, that they make so much more. Because if you have, 1 billion people, think about this. Think about a place like China. It's like 2 billion Chinese people. Think about daily. If every single one of those Chinese people, and we know some of them are going to pay more than $1, but just think about $1 in taxes that they would pay a day. Everybody pays $1 in taxes a day, which we know they pay more a day. That's, it's billions of dollars a day. You understand? It's billions of dollars per day. And we know it's more than that. So it's billions, multi-billions of dollars a day they're collecting in taxes when you really understand. So think about a year. Think about the kind of money those economies are generating for those governments and what they could possibly be doing with their money, but they are not. Then you look at the fact that we as black people in America have over $1 trillion a year buying power, but we can't get adequate schools. We can't get money for our kids. We can't get a raise. We can't get good health care. We can't get anything that's going to really help us, fix the community, to fix the potholes, to fix the abandoned houses that's on our block. We can't get nothing. And we contributing all this money a year, giving it to them to do absolutely nothing for us. And here it comes again, another income tax season where black people are going to get money. And they're going to contribute this year to the problem that's, a part of the reason why we have the separation between us, black men and black women. And that's going to be, this whole social media craze. And I've already been seeing it. I've been seeing so many black women talking about getting surgery. Oh yes, the secret is out. A lot of you people thought these Instagram models, just was in the gym, just eating right. They've been getting surgery. We've been seeing the ads all up and down Facebook, tax special, income tax special, get your body right. BBL, or whatever the hell it is. We've been seeing it. And I've been seeing so many black women posting, when I get my income tax money, I'm going to get the surgery. And what I'm talking about is body sculpting surgery. This is what these Instagram models are doing. And they're going and getting the surgery and, getting their butts done and their boobs done and then taking pictures. That's all you got to do now. You got girls on Instagram that have millions of followers. Millions of people following them. because they took a picture walking down the street, because they took a picture, in the supermarket, and so on and so forth, put up videos of these crazy bodies that they got from these surgeries. So you're gonna have a lot of people that's gonna take thousands. A lot of that stuff started like $5,000 to get the surgery. They're gonna take $5,000 out of a household or a family where they don't have $5,000 in savings in their savings account. They're gonna take $5,000 and put it in their ass, put it in their boobs, just so they could jump on Instagram and shake their ass and cause more problem to the black family than it already is. And this is what's happening. This is what we've been seeing. As I said before, you have a lot of issues where, as I said, black men, we want what we want. We know what we like. You see what entices most black men. And that's exactly what they put in the hip hop videos. That's exactly who they, putting out there for us to go crazy over is women that look like this, with bodies like that. And what's happening is these women are not going for the hardworking black dude that's trying to, grow his business or do something that's respectable. They're going for the guy that's a rapper, ball player, or already, rich from whatever. And this is the problem we have. And so when we have the argument not dating black women, this is one of the reasons. This is one of the issues. When you have these women, most of them on Instagram, shaking their ass. If you see the majority of black women with bodies like this, Instagram page, anytime we see this as black men, the first thing come to our mind is she's a hoe. Every single time. I don't care who you is or how nice you think you are or what you doing. If you have an Instagram page where you half naked, black men, period, think you a hoe. I don't care what you're doing. It's just going to be that simple. And of course, that don't mean you are, but it's a stereotype that comes with that type of situation. Anytime you're half naked and you're displaying your body out there and taking in the comments of a bunch of men, strangers, who complimenting on your body 24/7, obviously it's just about your body. Obviously they're there to try to get you in some way, shape, or form. And it's not going to be no respect there to where these dudes is trying to, bring you home to mom or keep you. Because one, what dude is going to really wife you and marry you when you have an Instagram page, or you have a regular Instagram page with you half naked and a bunch of strangers in your DMs and comment section? Like, not too many men going to put up with that, except for men that got the money and has the, who knows his worth and understand that he has a lot of options. So this has been one of the big problems that we don't want to admit to that's happening in the black community. Everything is about getting a big ass. The more ass you got, the more men going to be on your top. The more ass you got, the more attention you're going to get, the more opportunity you have to make money. So this is what we're seeing. This is one of the reasons we can't come together, because, they have their women. You have Latina women that have it naturally. You have white women now who peep now. They understand what's going on. They're getting these crazy bodies as well, and they taking on the black men. So this is what's happening. This is one of those things that we can see that's directly tied with the culture, that is enticing a lot of black women, thanks to people like Nicki Minaj and people like Cardi B with these bodies and what they're doing and putting these videos out there that's making it like having that type of body is everything. So now you have black women chasing that look, and they're chasing those bodies, and they're willing to spend $5,000, $10,000, ain't got a college fund for their kids, ain't got a nice car, but they're willing to put that kind of money into their bodies for what? Now, of course, I understand some women want to get this stuff done to feel better about themselves because they don't like the way they shape. Some women got fucked up shapes and their bodies is just horrible, and the surgery is going to help out a lot of them. And I ain't really complaining too much about that. I like good looking women like the next person. The issue becomes, what are you going to do with yourself once you do get that surgery? Now, if you're just using that look to be on Instagram and get likes and comments and just add more fuel to the fire, then, that's a problem. But if you're using it to, because you want to look better and feel better about yourself, I can understand that. A lot of women that's getting the surgeries are married and already in relationships, and a lot of husbands is paying for the surgery. So I understand that part of it, but we can't act like this is not what's happening, and it's happening even more so from my point of view, from where I'm seeing it from, where you have this growing number of black women that's getting these surgeries done and taken to Instagram and social media to promote themselves as being a model because she got a big ass. So it's a problem. It's another weapon to destroy the black family that has been working really well. It's the future when you pay attention, because now this surgery it was a lot more expensive. It's still expensive, especially on the West Coast. The East Coast is a lot cheaper. New York, Atlanta, Miami. But on the West Coast, you paying a lot more. But they're making these surgeries affordable, especially in the range of income tax money, to where they could just get this done. And a lot of women are jumping on that. And you had the whole hot girl summer where this whole thing was promoted, and you had a lot of women, getting their bodies done so they can run down to Miami, and shake their ass and show off. And this is what's going on. This is what's happening, and it's just another weapon, as I said, against us, that's destroying the black family. And it's something that you'll see a lot more of, and I've been seeing it a lot. It's inescapable, and it's crazy to see that so many people is doing this, and we keep pointing the finger at each other. Black men pointing at black women keep saying black men ain't shit, and so on and so forth. But none of us want to look in the mirror and realize that we both to blame, and we don't want to address the real issues surrounding why we are the way that we are. It's the culture, plain and simple. And until we change that, nothing is going to change. Nothing is going to change for us. That's going to benefit us and help us progress further. To me, I look at the situation, and as I said, we are so far behind. We have so many issues and things we need to fix. And every time we, stumble out of one just a little bit, here comes another big issue. Just, they keep their freaking foot on our throat 24/7, pounding us with next thing after next thing. The fact that they're willing to give up all this money to black athletes and entertainers, to keep us where we at. I mean, to have us chasing it. It's like nobody wants to be anything other than an entertainer or athlete. Nobody wants to put in the work to own a business and be an entrepreneur. And then you have, people who willing to work and dedicate their entire lives to a company that they'll never own, that they don't really know the owners, don't even get a thank you. And you're going to be living paycheck to paycheck and just getting by until you're too old to get by, and then you messed up. Social Security is not enough money. You spent your whole life going to work, basically. It's crazy. So my main point in this whole thing is, I understand what's happening. I can look at the situation with a lot of these celebrities and why they don't do what we think they should do with their money. I mean, if somebody told you what you should do with your money, you would feel some type of way as well. But I understand one of the reasons why it's tough. I understand that it could be very easy if they wanted it to be easy, but they don't, obviously, for many reasons. But we got to stop looking to them to save us, because they already sold us out when you really understand. We got to fix ourselves, and that's basically where it starts. And what I always tell you guys, it starts with you. As I put out with personal economics, I mean, a lot of you guys getting income tax money, it's a lot of things you can do to take that money and really, grow yourself over the next couple of years to where you could be in a position to quit your job and open your own business. And there's a lot of steps you can take right now if you are, fortunate enough to be getting that kind of money to do things and to put yourself in a better position economically. If you have the discipline to save the money, if you have the discipline to sacrifice. If you don't, then you will be back here next year, can't wait till your income tax or W-2 come in so you can do your income tax to have that money, where you shouldn't even be worried about that money. You should already be good, and that money should just be added on what you already have. And you should be in a better situation to where you are free, because that's what it's really about, having that freedom. But we got to look at the overall bigger situations that's keeping us from helping each other and being where we should be as black people. And that's the point. Nobody's really going to come into the black community and do anything major when they come there and see the kind of mental illness that exists and the kind of problems that exist. And nobody's going to put their life on the line to a bunch of people that are basically kill you and rob you for you trying to help them out. So we kick this whole shit about black this and black that, and everybody want to be mad at Gayle King, which understandably so, but not be mad at the rappers and the other people who not doing anything for the black community, that's talking against the black community, that's promoting the destruction of the black community. We're not doing nothing to them. They're just cool. we fucks with them, which, again, I understand that part, but it's so much deeper than us being mad at her about this situation and not being mad at them about what they're doing to us in this culture. So there's another year where we got to get our priorities straight. And as I said, the only way that we can fix anything is as individuals. You getting yourself together first and helping your kid get themselves together, and so on and so forth. If you worry about you and don't worry about what these celebrities doing or what anybody else is doing, if you fix yourself, if you fix you and become successful in your own right and pass that knowledge on, I mean, we can begin to build something that way. Because coming together as a group of black people, we're going to have religion that's going to be in the way, first of all. We're going to have trust that's going to be in the way, first of all. And then the just coming together part is so impossible right now with all the distractions. So this has to be individualized. It has to be something that we do on our own as far as fixing the black community and fixing black people as a whole. It takes, you yourself to fix yourself. And then if you pass on that knowledge, if you teach your kids correctly, then, we can possibly build something later on when everybody has the right mindset to do so. But as of right now, looking at all of the pitfalls that we don't even want to admit exist, it's not going to happen. It's not going to happen. So again, another year comes, we're arguing about the same stuff. We're arguing about what some celebrity said about black people. We're arguing about beefs and, all kinds of stuff. We lose another celebrity, black celebrity that people love. It's the same stuff every year, and you have moments of good things that blind you from everything else. You have moments of happiness that blind you from everything else. You have ideas and fantasies of this good life and this future that you want to have that blinds you from everything else until you get to the point where you realize it's not going to happen, and the chance you had to do something about it is gone. And now you are where you are, stuck, whatever situation you may be in. So time, that's all you got. It's not much left. You don't know when you're going to go, and a lot of people don't care. So here we are. This is what we have to deal with, and there's so many obstacles and things that you don't even understand that's in your way. And the only way to really get around it is to get your shit together and get focused on you and where you really want to be and what you need to do to get there, and act accordingly after that. But I want to thank you guys for taking the time to watch. Definitely take advantage of these sales before they go, and I'll see you guys next video.